Welcome to Oasisify. Nobody can deny that these gangsters have amassed enormous wealth, whether legal or illegal. Of course, many of them had to pay a high price. We all know that doing bad things is wrong, but it's now clear that the payoff is enormous. There are people in the world who have made so much money through the underworld that they could start their own army. As you're watching this, or you have watched part of this one video, you probably already have names popping into your head as to who will appear on this list of the richest. Let's take a look at the 10 richest criminals in the world. Number 10. Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar, 6.7 billion. Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar is ranked first as India's #1 enemy. Dawood, the son of a Mumbai cop, used to be involved in minor crime. He was involved in a lot of gang wars in Mumbai, India, which resulted in deaths of many of his enemies, as well as his own men. He rose to the unrivaled throne of Mumbai's underworld, and he took command of the crime scene. He was spotted in the VIP stands during the India-Pakistan cricket series in Sharjah. His weaknesses were cricket and Bollywood female movie stars. Interpol has issued a red alert for him, citing his alleged Al-Qaeda ties. The son of a poor police officer is the richest gangster alive, with a net worth of 6.7 billion. Number 9. The Ochoa Brothers, 6 billion. Colombia is still known as the world's drug capital. The presence of the Medellin cartel is important in this, and members of this cartel, George, Luis, Juan, David, and Fabio Ochoa, form the lethal triad known as the Ochoa Brothers. They began as small-time restaurant owners and rose through the criminal ranks by illegally transporting drugs. They were released from prison after serving their sentences, and they are now starting over in the United States. It's possible that this is the only time we'll see criminals making amends. Number 8. Rafael Caro Quintero, 650 million. You've probably heard of Mexico's notorious Guadalajara cartel. Rafael Caro Quintero, the number 8 gangster on this list, established the cartel with his brother. His family's business was selling drugs, which may surprise you. In 1985, the court sentenced him to 40 years in jail after he was arrested by the feds for several drug-related offenses and murder. He was released prematurely in 2013, and he has not changed his ways. However, he is still at large today, with Interpol issuing a global red notice for him. He is still on the most wanted list in the United States and Mexico, with a net value of 650 million. Number 7. Freeway Ricky Ross, 600 million. The notorious Freeway is at number 7. Ricky Ross was the undisputed king of cocaine smuggling in the United States during the 1980s. He was released prematurely in 2009 after being arrested by the feds in 1996 as part of a sting operation. He was a pivotal figure in the Iran-Contra scandal, and he recently published a biography of his life. Meanwhile, he filed a lawsuit against rapper Rick Ross for stealing his name. In reality, the gangster and the rapper have similar appearances, leading many people to mistake the gangster for the rapper. Number 6. Zhenli Ye Gon, 300 million. At number 6, Zhenli Ye Gon is the polar opposite of Nick Barnes. Instead of distributing drugs on the street, he became a senior executive for a pharmaceutical company in Mexico. Using his Chinese contacts, he used to smuggle pseudoephedrine out of China. It is difficult to get wealthy in only one country. This guy has millions of dollars stashed in 4 different countries: the United States, Mexico, Europe, and Hong Kong. He was a Sinaloa cartel member with a net worth of 300 million. Hey, here's a question. Did you subscribe to our channel? If not yet, smash it now for more unbelievable facts. Let's move on to the next one. Number 5. George Jung, 100 million. In the criminal world, George Jung is also known as Boston George because he was born in Boston, Massachusetts. He is in charge of all the cocaine in the United States. He was arrested in 1984 and spent over 30 years in prison until being released in 2014, before he died at 78. In the 2001 film Blow, Johnny Depp, a well-known maverick actor, played his character. A sequel to this film is currently in the works. Number 4. Jose Figueroa Agosto, 100 million. Jose Figueroa Agosto, the man who perfectly personifies the GTA computer game thug, is a cunning mobster who has escaped from prison several times. The term electronic commerce refers to the sale of electronic goods. The court sentenced him to 209 years in prison, making him one of the most powerful drug dealers of all time. He managed to flee to the Dominican Republic, however, and he resumed his activities under a different alias before being apprehended by the feds in 2010. Are you aware that Jose Agosto has stashed his $100 million in fortune in an unidentified location? He has not disclosed the information to anyone, and you are free to keep it if you can locate it. Number 3. John Gotti, $30 million. John Gotti was an American mobster and crime boss who had a net worth of $30 million at the peak of his criminal empire, after adjusting for inflation. He was known for evading federal charges for his crimes, earning him the moniker Teflon Don from the media. In 1992, he was convicted of a slew of federal offenses, and he was the boss of the Gambino crime family operating out of New York City. During his teenager years, Gotti ran errands for Gambino family Capo Carmine Fachicho and carried out a number of truck hijackings at what is now the John F. Kennedy Airport. Gotti was imprisoned at the U.S. Penitentiary, Marion, a medium-sized security facility in southern Illinois. Gotti was assaulted by a fellow inmate in July 1996, and he later paid two members of the Aryan Brotherhood between $40,000 and $400,000 to carry out murders to avenge his attack. 2. Whitey Bulger, $30 million. James Joseph Whitey Bulger Jr. was an American organized crime boss who led the Winter Hill Gang in the Winter Hill neighborhood of Somerville, Massachusetts, a city directly northwest of Boston. Bulger fled the Boston area and went into hiding on September 23, 1994, after his former FBI handler, John Connolly, informed him of a pending RICO indictment against him. Bulger evaded capture for 16 years. Following Bulger's arrest in 2011, federal prosecutors charged him with 19 murders based on grand jury testimony from Kevin Weeks and other former criminal associates. In April 1994, the DEA, Boston Police, and the Massachusetts State Police formed a task force to investigate Bulger's illegal gambling operations. Number 1. Leona Helmsley, $5 billion. Leona Helmsley was an American entrepreneur who had a peak net worth of $5 billion. Leona Helmsley earned the nickname Queen of Mean due to her reputation for cruel behavior toward her employees and family. Following allegations of non-payment by contractors hired to work on her home, she was convicted of federal income tax evasion and a host of other crimes in the late 80s. Helmsley received a 16-year prison sentence that was reduced to 19 months in prison, plus 2 months of house arrest. In 2007, at the age of 87, Helmsley died of congestive heart failure at her home in Connecticut. Her remains were later entombed next to her husband Harry in a $1.4 million mausoleum in Sleepy Hollow Cemetery in New York. That's all for today. If you made it this far, please let me know in the comments which one of them did you already know about, and what do you think about them. Please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and have a nice day.